I guess you love movies. I do too. Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today, leading off of the Criterion Collection video, as I spoke about on that one. If you haven't seen it already, check it out. But I did speak about doing a review of Godzilla Minus One, and that's what we're doing today. This is a movie that I just recently watched on Netflix in the UK. It just got released. Obviously, it came out in 2023. I'm guessing you're wondering, why are you reviewing this movie so late? Well, to be perfectly honest, I'm not a massive Godzilla fan. It's not something that I was anticipating. It is something, though, that I heard good things about. So when I saw it on Netflix, I thought, give that a watch. Also, one of my best friends saw the movie just before me and was like in love with it. So I was like, oh, I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. So when I saw it, and genuinely it's like one of the best movies of the last decade. Yeah, I was that blown away by it. Honestly, it was incredible. I thought I have to do a video on it. And also, it's a perfect lead-in to the start of a video essay series I'm going to be doing. But I'll get into that a little bit later in this video. But no, Godzilla Minus One is genuinely everything a good blockbuster should be. And everything that most of the American Godzilla movies that I've seen are not. Which is really the reason why I'm not a big fan, because I've really only seen the Hollywood ones. Those movies, however great in spectacle and in scale, they have some noteworthy action sequences, but the characters are always cookie cutter and dull. They're uninteresting, and for me, only so much action can keep me interested. I really want some sort of emotional connection, some sort of grounding in that movie that's going to make me feel something, that's going to make me care about the action sequences, because if the characters within them are not interesting to me, I lose interest. And those Hollywood movies really were kind of bland and uninteresting to me after a while. But Godzilla Minus One is the complete opposite of that. Genuinely, you forget that this is a monster movie at times. This really is a deconstruction of war and the trauma of war, a culture that is significantly scarred, and that's sort of like encapsulated by our main character Koichi, who is a surviving kamikaze pilot who was unable to commit suicide on a mission for his country, returns to Japan on Odo Island to be lambasted by his colleagues for cowardice before eventually Godzilla attacks the island. And in that moment he's unable to do what he believes he should have done, and many people die because of him. And when he returns to Tokyo ravaged by guilt, he becomes sort of embroiled in a relationship with this woman and an infant that she found who's been orphaned. And they sort of become a sort of dysfunctional sort of family before he eventually starts working to clear mines outside of the coast of Tokyo, and Godzilla resurfaces, and the rest of the movie sort of escalates from there. But this is a movie that concentrates on character first. These characters you really care about. Neriko, the woman he meets, their relationship is really powerful. They have a lot in common. Like I said, kind of dysfunctional, kind of strange, but heartfelt. And genuinely you care so much for these characters. The performances are exceptional. And in a Godzilla movie, to say that the lead actor and actress are like Oscar-worthy good is a rarity, to say the least. Honestly, this movie reminded me of like peak Hollywood blockbusters. Spielberg definitely coming through this thing. Jaws specifically. There's a phenomenal sequence on a boat when they are like trawling for these mines, and Godzilla first appears to them, and the second time for Koichi. It's a phenomenal sequence. It's exciting, and because you care about these characters, it's really, really engaging, and you really care about what's going on screen. And what I loved about this movie more than anything is that there's so much depth to it. Like I said, it feels like a deconstruction of Japan in this era, of their the cultural pain that is under the surface in every one of the characters, not just Koichi. Now Godzilla is kind of a manifestation of that. This is a brilliant movie about redemption, and it's just so satisfying to watch. You watch a blockbuster and you want to feel like at the end of it you're like, wow, that was awesome. And I haven't really felt that in a long time. And Dune Part 2 was one of those movies, and this is another one, where it kind of just ticks every single box. You know, spectacle, emotion, performance. Honestly, I was blown away by this film, and I really have no flaws. It's actually fantastic in every way. And what I love about it more than anything is that this movie cost like $10 million, right? You look at a new Hollywood blockbuster, it costs $250 million, and it bombs at the box office, and you're like, well, why are the budgets so inflated? And I am aware that Hollywood budgets are also inflated by Hollywood salaries in terms of big name actors and all of this stuff, but I feel like money is just being thrown away in Hollywood. And this is my sort of lead in to my video essay series, and my video essay series is called How to Save Cinema, because, you know, I'm looking at the movie industry at the moment, and it's worrying, to say the least, as someone that loves film. But I look at Godzilla Minus One in terms of its quality as a movie, and it gives me hope. I want to see Shin Godzilla. I want to see the original Godzilla movie because I've seen this movie. It makes me want to go back and watch those films. It makes me want to see Japanese Godzilla movies, you know, coming up, because I enjoyed this movie so much. That's what a blockbuster is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you excited for coming movies. It's supposed to make you want to go see past movies. It's supposed to make you a fan. And this is how the industry makes money. It's by making good movies that people want to go see. And Godzilla Minus One does a brilliant job at that. And it does a brilliant job at that on a very tight budget. You can take risks on movies like this, because they cost $10 million. That's nothing. This movie made 10 times its budget back. So, although 100 million sounds like nothing, paltry in the grand scheme of things in comparison to the golden age of blockbusters, that's 10 times its budget. And I think Hollywood needs to take note, not only of the quality, and, you know, the overall spectacle of this movie. You don't feel like you're watching a movie that costs like a tenth of a big blockbuster in Hollywood. It feels like it looks really good, and I have no issues with it. And I think this is something that Hollywood needs to take note of, and it's something I will get into in the part one of my How to Save Cinema series, where I'm going to talk about the evolution of the blockbuster and how it needs to change in order to be more sustainable, because currently big budget movies are bombing all over the place. I did a video about Furiosa. That movie cost $150 odd million, and it's not even made its budget back, and that's without advertising costs. So Hollywood needs to shape up. You know, look at Godzilla Minus One. Take notes, because that's how you make a blockbuster. It goes back to the Spielberg movies of the past in the 70s, of Jaws specifically. Jaws' best scene is three guys in a boat, drunk, talking about their scars, and it gives me chills every single time I watch it. Yeah, there's a shark in it, but that's not what the movie's about. It's about the people in the midst of this chaos. And Godzilla Minus One is another movie that does that, and does it brilliantly. And it done it on an incredibly tight budget, which Hollywood really needs to rein in at the moment. So if you're interested in a great movie, just a great movie, because honestly, you don't have to be a Godzilla fan. I wasn't. Check out Godzilla Minus One. And if you're interested to hear more about my new video essay series, How to Save Cinema, it'll be here very soon, part one, probably in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that. And if you enjoyed this video, hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye.